Hello and welcome coders to the Sky Coding. This is part 2 video of our keys in MySQL, and in the part 1 video we have covered unique key and primary key, and we have seen the major differences between unique key and the primary key, and we have done our practicals with lots of examples. So the part 1 link will be given in the description box. If you haven't watched my part 1, you can watch from the description box. So in this session we will talk about foreign key and composite key. So let's get started without wasting any time, and first of all we will see about foreign key, then we will see composite key, and we will do lots of practicals. So let's get started. First of all, let me create this database 10b. So I have executed the command for 10b. So 10b database is created now, and now we will just basically use this database because we will perform and create all of the tables, whatever what work we will do, we will use this database only. Chapter 10b. So first of all we will see about the foreign key. Okay, so let's write here, this is our third key which I am going to discuss, that is foreign key. Okay, so what is a foreign key? So basically foreign key is used to link one or more than one tables together. Okay, so and it is you can call this foreign key as a referencing key as well, and it will just matches the primary key field of the another table. It means that foreign key field in one table refers to the primary key field of the other table. Okay, so this is some of the theory and some of the concept of the foreign key. Basically we use a foreign key for just linking one table with another table, and we are just taking the primary key of the another table and reference key of the one table, and we will just link those things. Okay, so let me write here first of all let me create these tables, and we will see how we can just define the foreign key of any column on any table. Okay, so this is my table customer which is having id, name and city, and id should be id cannot be null value, and it is just an auto increment value. Okay, so it will just follow the auto incremental thing. And now let's define the primary key here. Okay, so we have seen in the previous session that how we are defining the primary key. So for that we will just write here primary key, and I want to define primary key as id. Okay, as this is my id which is not null and auto increment, so I am defining primary key as id. Okay, in the customer table. Okay, so let's create the table. So table is customer table is successfully created. Now we will just create another table, that is a contact table, and we will just create a foreign key with the reference with the customer table. Okay, this is my contact table. So it is having id, customer email and email type. Okay, so suppose that you want to specify the foreign key on this contact table, so you have to just write one keyword constant, as we are writing in the previous query, previous keys as well, constant, and you have to write your constant name. Suppose that I want to give fk customer. Okay, foreign key customer, so I will just write fk customer, and I want to define the foreign key. Okay, so I will just write foreign key, and I want to define foreign key this customer id column. I want this customer id column to be a foreign key, so I will just write here okay, let's write in small. There is no need to in small or in caps, you can write whatever you like. Okay, but I am just following some small, or if you are writing something you can write in small, you can write in big. Okay, whatever you like. Okay, constant, this is my constant name, and this is foreign key. I am defining this customer id column from the contact table. Okay, this is my contact table, and I am defining this customer underscore id column as a foreign key. So you have to write, after that you have to give the references. Okay, so my reference, okay, let's correct spelling. Okay, so my references is I want to just link this contact table with the customer table. From here we will just define the foreign key here in the contact table, and in the customer table we have to link with the primary key, so we have to give this column. Okay, so for that we will just give the reference to the customer table, and in the customer table I want to give reference to id. Okay, so we have to write like this way, and you have to put the semicolon, as a semicolon is already there. Okay, so where you have to define the foreign key and where you have to define the primary key, let me tell you that thing, and let me clear that doubt. Okay, so suppose that this is my contact table, and I want to just perform some references with this customer table. So in which table you want to give references to another table, you have to just define the foreign key in that table, and from which table you want to get the references, from which table you want to get the link, you have to just define the primary key in that table. Okay, as this is my contact table and I am just going to just link this contact table with the customer table, I am just putting the references. So I have written here constant fk customer, this is my constant name, and we are just defining foreign key as customer id. This customer id of the contact table, I am defining this as a foreign key, and I am just giving the references to the customer table to the id column. Okay, this is customer table name and this is my id. Okay, id column from the customer table. Okay, so by this way you can just define any table as a foreign key. Okay, any table column as a foreign key. Okay, and you can give the reference. So this is linked with this thing. Okay, so whenever you will do anything updation deletion from this contact table, then it will be deleted in that table as well. Okay, because here it is a cascade. Okay, so let me write here. Okay, let me write here one thing. Okay, on delete cascade. Okay, cascade, we will discuss this thing as well. Okay, on delete cascade and on update cache. Okay, on update cascade. Okay, and now we have to give the semicolon. Okay, so what is the meaning of this on delete cascade and on update cascade? Okay, so the meaning is that whenever we will delete anything in this customer table or in the contact table, then that data will also be deleted in the customer table. Okay, suppose that I have deleted some record from this contact table, then that data will also be deleted from the customer table because we have given the references here. Okay, this is the meaning of on delete. Okay, and we will see about set null as well. Okay, on delete set null, on update set null, we will see that thing also. Okay, so by this way you can just define the foreign key and put the references with the primary key of the another table. Okay, that's the definition of the foreign key, that you have to link the foreign key of one table with the primary key of the another table. As I have here just given the reference of foreign key from this contact table, the primary key of this customer table. Okay, so let's create this contact table. You can see contact table is now successfully created, and now let me just describe the table. Okay, so that you can understand. Okay, so let's give describe, and my table name is describe customer. Okay, so let's describe the customer, and you can see key is primary key and extra is auto increment. Okay, so now let's describe the contact table where I have defined the foreign key. So in place of foreign key, here it will show multi. Okay, so let's describe, and you can see here customer id is multi. Okay, so multi in the key column of the contact value, it is just telling that the customer id field can store the multiple rows with the same name. Okay, same value. Okay, so let's insert this dummy data to the customer table. This is my customer table which is having name, city, and we are just giving Joseph, Mary and John. Okay, this is some dummy data. Okay, so let's insert this data inserted, and now let's insert the data in the contact table. So in the contact table also I have inserted the data. So now we will just verify the data. So for verification we will just give select asterisk from customer. Okay, select asterisk from customer, and you can see we got the data in the customer table. And if we will check the data in the contact table, so let's check for the contact table. So you can see in the contact table also we got this data. Okay, so this is how our foreign keys is working. Okay, so now if we will go to check the data integrity. Okay, so you can check the data integrity as well. Okay, here you can see we are just giving all of the same IDs and we are entering the data. Okay, so now let's see the data integrity. Okay, so what is the meaning of data integrity? That whenever we have seen this thing, right, here on delete cascade, on or on update cascade. Okay, so we will see that thing. Okay, so on delete cascade means if we delete any data from the customer record from the customer table, then the related records in the contact table should also be deleted. Okay, and in the similar way on the update cascade will update automatically on the parent table to the referential fields in the child table. Okay, here the referential field is customer id. Okay, so means whatever updation we will do in one table, that will also reflect in the another table, means in the referencing table. Okay, so this is the meaning of on delete cascade and on update cascade. Okay, so first of all we will test the delete. Okay, so delete. Okay, and we will see that if that thing is reflecting in another table or not. Okay, so for that we will just delete some data. Let's write the query delete from, and we are just going to delete in the customer table. Okay, delete from customer. Okay, delete from customer. And first of all let's check the data in the customer. Okay, so here we are having John. Okay, so let's delete the data for John first. Okay, so delete from customer where name, where name is equals to John. Okay, so I'm just going to delete the data for John, and you will see that this John data will also be deleted from the contact table. Okay, okay, so first of all what we will do, we will just run this and we will delete this data. Okay, so let's run this, and you can see this data is being deleted. Now let's check the data in the contact table. You can see earlier we are having John for employee ID, for the ID 3. So now it's deleted, John is deleted. And now let's check in the contact table. Okay, you can see we are just getting customer ID as 111 and 222, means 3 ID is deleted, because our that customer ID 3, this ID means John, this ID is just linked with these IDs. Okay, because we have just given the references. Okay, so if we are deleting something in one table, then that thing will also be deleted in the another table because of references we have given. Okay, on delete. Okay, and we will see also that if you want to do the separation, means if you want to delete something in one table and don't want to that thing will be deleted in the another table, so we can just remove that thing as well by putting the null. Okay, we will see that. Okay, so our John name is removed from both of the tables of the references, from the customers table as well and from the contact table as well. Okay, so this is working. On delete cascade is working. Okay, so let's write here, it will delete data from both of the tables. Okay, and it will update the data automatically in both of the tables. Okay, so this is for delete, as we have seen delete is also working. Okay, so let's test for the update as well. We will try to update something in one table and we will see that that thing is reflecting in the another table or not. Okay, so for that what we will do, we will just update something. Okay, so update customer set, and let's set the ID to 4. Okay, ID to 4, where clause, let's put where clause, and our name column is there, where name is equals to let's check the name. Okay, where name is Mary. Okay, let's take Mary. Okay, so where name is equals to Mary, and let's put semicolon and let's insert. Okay, you can see we have set the ID 4 for the name Mary. Okay, so let's check this thing. You can see ID is 4 for the Mary. Okay, and now we will see the same thing in the contact table. You can see in the contact table earlier we are getting 111, 222. Now we are getting 444 because we have given the on update cascade. Okay, so that's why whatever change we are doing in the customer table, that change is just reflecting in the contact table because of references we have given. Okay, so this is how this on delete cascade and on update cascade is working. Okay, now we will see that how can we drop the foreign key. Okay, first of all let's see that what name of foreign key we are having. Okay, so create table, and my table name is contact. Okay, so let's see. So contact. Okay, so you can see this is the metadata for creating a table, and you can see here customer FK is there. Okay, so instead of this thing, let's see the table metadata directly. Okay, so this is the constant, and my constant name is FK customer. Okay, this is my foreign key which I have defined. So I'm going to drop this thing. Okay, so let's copy the name of our foreign key, and now let's drop this thing. Okay, so for dropping you have to alter table. My table name is customer, alter table customer. Okay, my table name is contact. Okay, in the contact table I have defined the foreign key. In the, you can see here in the in the customer table we have defined just primary key. In the contact table we have defined the foreign key. So we will just use that table only. Okay, alter table contact, and we will just drop. Okay, drop foreign key, and my foreign key name is this fk customer. We have copied, and we will just drop this. Okay, and let's run this, and if you will check this show create, and you can see here. Okay, that foreign key is being removed. Okay, so whenever we will do any changes, that will not reflect in the another table. Okay, so this is how you can drop the foreign key, by this way, by using this alter table and by just dropping the foreign key. Okay, so this is all about dropping the foreign key. Now we will see that how can we use this foreign key using set null. Okay, so for set null, and set null on delete and update cascade. Okay, so whenever you will just set null those values, then that values will not be reflected in another table, and they will just set as null. Okay, whenever you will do any changes. Okay, so for this thing, let's take these tables only, and let's copy the data from here, and let's paste here. Okay, and let's paste here, and let's another table with the name customer underscore 02. Okay, so this is my table 02 table, and this is my contact underscore 02 table, and this time we will just set here what I have to set. On delete we will just put here set null. Okay, and here as well we will just set null. Okay, so whenever any deletion or updation is going on in one table, then that deletion or updation will not reflect in the another table, as that deletion will be just set to null. Okay, whenever we will perform anything. Okay, and guys, after setting these on delete and on update to null, we have to change here name. Okay, so we are just referencing this time to customer underscore 02, this table, right? This table. Okay, so let's create this table contact 02. Okay, what it is in duplicate foreign key fk customer. Okay, we have created already fk customer, so this time we will just give fk customer underscore 02. Okay, you can see table is created now. So let's paste some data. Okay, so we are just copying the same thing. Okay, so that we can save the time, otherwise it will consume more time if we will write for insert query or create table. Okay, so this time let's insert the data in the customer underscore 02 table, and this is contact underscore 02. Okay, so data is inserted successfully. Okay, so now what we will do, we will just do some updation, then we will see that whether that thing is working and that thing is reflecting in the another table or not. Okay, so our goal is to set that updation or deletion which is just happening to null. Okay, so we will set that thing null. Okay, so let's update something. Okay, let's copy the update as well. Okay, we have done the updation, right? We have done this thing. Okay, so let's copy this thing and let's paste here. Okay, let's paste. Okay, so delete from customer underscore 02 where name is John. Okay, here also name is John. Okay, so name John is being deleted, so we will check the data. Okay, we are inserting the same data, right? We have inserted same data. Okay, so select asterisk from okay, this is customer table, right? So let's check in the customer underscore 02. Okay, so you can see in the 02 table we are having Joseph Mary. Okay, we are having this data in the customer underscore 02, but we are not having John here. Okay, why we are not having John here? Because we have just deleted John from here, and if you will check the data in the contact table. Okay, contact 02. Okay, so here you can see all of the IDs are here. You can see asterisk. Okay, here ID is put to null here. Why it is put to null? Because here we have given on delete set null. Okay, so that's why whenever we are deleting something and that on the reference table, then that thing is put to null here. Okay, earlier this data is directly deleted because we have given the cascade, but here whenever anything is being deleted, then that will set to null. Okay, here because we have given on delete set null. Okay, so this is the work of this thing. Okay, and whenever you will just update something, then also that will not reflect. Okay, so this is the work of this thing, that we are not giving a cascade and we are just setting that thing null. So whenever anything is done, means any updation or deletion is done on the reference table, then that that deletion or updation will not be reflected on the another table, and that deletion or updation will just set to null. Okay, because here we are just setting that thing to null. Okay, in the similar way you can try with the update thing. Okay, you have to practice these things on your own, then your concepts will be more clear. Okay, so now we will see that how can we define the foreign key by altering the table. Okay, suppose that you have created the table and after that you forgot to define the foreign key on that table, then how can you define the foreign key on that table later on? Okay, so for that we will just use alter. Okay, so for that let's create a simple table. Okay, so this is my customer underscore, let's give customer underscore 03. Okay, and this time what we will do, let's define the primary key here and let's create this table. Okay, and this is my contact underscore 03 table. Here we will remove this thing and we are not defining any foreign key. Okay, so you can see this table is also created and we have not defined any foreign key here in this time. Okay, so suppose that you want to define the foreign key later on after creating a table, then you have to write one alter the table. You have to write alter table and my table name is suppose that I want to alter this table. Okay, so I want to enter this table contact underscore 03, right? We have created this table. Okay, contact underscore 03 and we are just going to add constraint. Okay, add constraint and suppose that I am just giving the name as fk customer underscore 03. Okay, because underscore 012 is already there, so we are just giving this name. Okay, and after that you have to just define the foreign key. Okay, foreign key, and my foreign key is customer id. Okay, customer id. Okay, this customer id. Okay, customer id, and let's give the references. References will be just customer and this id. Okay, customer underscore 03 and this id. Okay, so let's give customer underscore 03 and column is id. Okay, id. Okay, and if you want to give cascade, so you can give on delete cascade. If you want reflection of the data on from one table to another, then you can give cascade, or you can just give on update. Okay, on update you can just restrict that thing as well. Okay, you can just restrict. Okay, so both tables will be separated. Okay, so by this way you can just define the foreign keys later on. Okay, so if you will describe this table, right, describe contact underscore 03. Okay, so let's describe. Okay, you can see here we are not having any keys. Okay, so if we will run this command, then it will just execute, and now let's describe the, and you can see here we are getting multi, means this column can store the multiple values of the same value. Okay, you can see we are just getting. Okay, so by this way you can just alter the table and you can just define the keys there. Okay, foreign keys. Okay, so this is for alter table, and now for the last one we are left with the MySQL checks. So basically MySQL has a special variable that is foreign key checks, which will just control the foreign key checking in that table. Okay, by default it is just enabled and you can just turn it off as well. Okay, means if you suppose that I have created the foreign key here and you don't want that your foreign key should work. Okay, and you don't want to drop that foreign key, so you can just put the value to false of that foreign key, then that will not be checked. Okay, so suppose that you want to disable the foreign key checks. Okay, for disable, okay, for disable checks. Okay, so for this, if you want to disable the checks, then you have to write set. Okay, then you have to write set foreign key checks. Okay, set foreign key checks is equals to 0. 0 is for false. We have seen this thing already. Okay, so let's see. Okay, you can see set foreign key checks is 0, means it will not check the foreign key. Okay, and if you want to enable that thing again, enable checks. Okay, let's remove this thing. So for that we have to set to 1. Okay, set foreign key checks is equals to 1, then it will be again enabled. Okay, so by this way you can just use the checks. Okay, and you can enable or disable this. Okay, so this is all about this thing, and what we have covered so far, we have seen about the foreign key, how can we define the foreign key while creating the table only. And we have seen about this thing cascade, means on delete cascade and on update cascade. Means if you are just giving this cascade, means the data deletion or updation will reflect in the referencing table, and if you are just setting that to null, then it will not reflect and it will be just put to null. And if you want to separate, then you can just give restrict. Okay, here we have given restrict, and you can, if we have seen that how can we just alter the table later on, and we can just define the foreign key. Okay, and we have seen how can we drop the foreign key. Okay, we have seen that thing as well. Okay, and we have seen about the checks, that how can we perform the checks. Okay, and we have seen dropping the foreign key. Okay, so that's all for today's session, and we will see composite key in the another session in the part 3 video. Okay, so part 3 video will be given in the description box. Okay, if you are going to do in the same video in the part 2 only, then video will be more lengthy. Okay, so that's why we are just getting a separate video for the composite key. Okay, so that's all for today's session. Meet you in the part 3. Part 3 link will be given in the description box.